Greetings, everyone, anyone, and anything that might tune in. Is your boy Ohio back at it again. Today, I want to speak about the origin. Looking at things from the perspective of how we see things nowadays as human beings, events seems to be stemming from time or going through time. It's hard for people to idealize how some events are even out of time, because even our understanding of the word event, it's kind of limited to time. And asking someone to try and visualize how an event might occur outside of time, it's kind of difficult if they have not had any subjective experience of how time is malleable like clay and things like that. So what's the origin? Some say the universe began 4 billion years ago, trillion years ago, whatever number of years they give it. Some say Earth is only 4 billion years old. It doesn't matter. All these are perception based on our limited understanding of what time is and how events occur, how things are caused. Some think when you look outside at the universe and see the light, you're looking back in time. There might be truth to that statement, but to what extent is that true? We have the ability to perceive time in more than one way because our neuropathy allows us to arrange events and data in more than one way, but today we are more aligned in our one way specific of interpreting and organizing information because that's the culture we have been raised in, and that's the things that we are familiar with. We don't know any other thing other than that. Those are the only things we know. Yeah. Those are the only things we know, and that's the only way we know. Those are the only things we know how to. Those are the only ways we know how to see information. And even if we see information that's organized outside of that format, we usually try to make it seem like it's in that format. One of the reasons why our dreams seems not to make a lot of sense. One of the reasons why our dreams do not make sense because some of the dream events are outside of time events that are outside of the time sequence that we're familiar with. And I'm just using the term event so that we can try to visualize a sequence of action. And most of the action that we know occurs through time. So our origin as universe, as we study it as people today, we mostly try to link it in time. We're trying to find when did the universe begin, when did the human species begin, things like that. When did the universe begin? Where did our species begin? Where exactly did they start from? What geographical location? We have limited our understanding to that only. But that's not the entirety of our own reality and our perception. We are capable of perceiving more than that, but your beliefs will limit you to the kind of data that you'll access. In terms of the origin of the universe, if you want to know the origin of the universe, the origin of the earth, you need to know how to look into yourself. Try and understand your subjective perception, because those subtle energies that we experience in ourselves, in our dreams, and those that drive our emotions, those that drive our interests, those that bring us intuitive knowledge, those that give us random inspiration, that's the same source that our universe comes from. It's not looking a long time and hoping to see an origin that will make us understand the origin of the universe. It's by us going into ourselves. It's when we'll be able to see the origin of the universe. It's by us trying to understand how the origin of the universe is no different than the origin of you. But if you look at it according to time, you'll only see that the universe began, then man began, then earth began, then man began, in that chronological order, as it will seem to have to make sense to people that way. But if you, for example, if I say most of us were there when the universe began, we watched it get formed, the same way we were there when the earth began, we watched it get formed with our own eyes. It will seem not to make sense to you because most of us will think that our life history and the universe and in existence did not exist before we were born. And the same way the earth has an history before you were born, you too have an history before you were born. And understanding such things will make you understand how grand everything is connected to the minuscule. Like they say in the hermetic principle, as above, so below, the macrocosm and the microcosm. If you understand the macrocosm, you'll find that you'll go deep into time and eventually beyond time. And if you understand the microcosm, you'll go deep out of time into energy formats, into energies and things of that nature, which are more subtle, not that objective, which will also be out of time. And as you go into things, you seem to go into the origin of the universe because you're going in the same direction in which the universe originated. If you want to explore your inner self, that's the way you do it. The same way we use some of these senses, in peculiar manners that most of us might not think of it clearly. For example, you might read in the magazine about a world war somewhere, but your senses will tell you that there's no war. You'll be comfortably seated in your house reading an article about World War III. You will not be scared as like someone who is there experiencing the World War III. And you can find someone who is not aligned by themselves. They might find themselves looking into such news and start panicking like the world is about to end because they are not fully settled in themselves. In fact, they have contradicting beliefs, and they will might waste a lot of their energy worrying about things that are not there. You see, just the same way like some of us as human species, we began saying that God created this on these days. It took this amount of days to complete the creation and all that. All these are just due to perception. So most of us took the blame, the responsibility that we had in taking part in the creation of the universe and put it all on God. The same way we end up doing bad things and blame it all on Satan. But Satan didn't do anything. Human do everything. And for example, in Earth, the nature of the Earth, every living things, every microorganism, microscopic, even beyond the microscopic level, they play a part in nature. So all life is part of nature, and all life play parts together to form what we consider as nature. So humans can never go against nature because we too are part of nature. I'm trying to go into the origin in a way, and hopefully some of you will get what I'm saying. We are part of the nature. Then we, as much as we originate from nature, also nature originates from us. We are not separate from nature. It's not fenced out of our reality. In fact, if we remove us from nature, there will be no nature. We all play a part in nature. And with that, I'd say peace, amani. Let's build bridges. What's our origin? We are the origin. Peace.